And just like that, 3 years have passed for the 2022 NFL draft picks. And one of those guys is Aiden Hutchinson, who was drafted second overall. Thank you, Jacksonville Jaguars, for being dumb enough to not take him with that first overall pick. I remember it like it was yesterday. The Lions played their way out of the first pick, going actually 3-3-1 during their last 7 games. That's when we started 0-10-1. We wind up going 3-3 the last 6 games of the season. It came down to the last game of the season. The Lions beat the Green Bay Packers, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars, who at that time had the second pick, wind up leapfrogging the Detroit Lions to get the first pick. And we've heard that Trayvon Walker could be the guy that they were taking, and now they are entering year 4. With that being the case, that other second-round pick that the Detroit Lions traded up to get, used that first pick of the Matthew Stafford trade, that first round pick in that trade, to trade up and get Jameson Williams. He was one of the guys that we traded up. That was part of that trade in total. Iffy, Josh Pasco, some others were part of that trade. And now 3 years have gone, and we have to talk about the 5th-year option and extending Jameson Williams. Now, we're not going to talk about Hutch in this episode because we already know what the Detroit Lions are going to do. In my opinion, he is not only going to, they'll just skip the 5th-year option, and they will probably make Aiden Hutchinson one of the highest paid defenders in the National Football League. I saw that his annual value, market value, projected contract could be $35 million. That would no doubt make him the highest paid pass rusher in the National Football League. Had he not been hurt, he would have earned it 7 times over. Defensive Player of the Year, sack leader. I mean, the dude was on a tear, and I hope he can come back 100 times better than he was. Knowing Hutch, that's what he's going to do. But this episode is about Jameson Williams and what the Detroit Lions should do. Now, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer to pick up his 5th-year option. But how do you guys feel? He's under contract. We're not going to pay him. I mean, he's not going to break the bank. It is it's a lot more than he's been making. He's going to make more in year 5 than he was going to make than he's made in his entire career thus far, but we're still heading into year 4. Now, as first round picks, who are the only ones eligible for that 5th-year option, as they enter year 4, the Detroit Lions have a select time period that they can pick up the 5th-year option. I want to say it begins in May or March and then ends in May, something like that. There is a 5th-year option deadline. So for Jameson Williams, will the Detroit Lions pick up his 5th-year option? Before we look and see what the cost of that would be for this team, let's look and see what he has done, not only in 2024, but in his short 3-year career. He got 58 receptions in 2024, 1,001 yards. I remember we were at the game and we were waiting for Jameson Williams. It was that Minnesota Viking game, the last game of the season, and he was able to get it. They made sure that he got it by 1 yard. Really got it by 2 yards, because 1,000 yards exactly is still 1,000 yards. 7 touchdowns with an average of 17.3 yards per catch. If we look at his stats throughout the year, has not played a full season yet, but this was the only season he did not suffer an injury as to why he didn't play the full season. Year 1, we'll give him a pass. He only played 6 games, and we know why. He was coming off that knee injury from college. In year 2, he got suspended 6 games for gambling. It was reduced to 4, and then he wound up missing a game due to a hamstring, I believe it was. Yeah, because 4 would be 16. I think he only missed a game due to a hamstring, because I think maybe that went into our bye week. I don't remember, but he only missed a game after missing those 4 due to suspension. In 2024, he wound up missing just the 2 games due to the PES suspension. And other than that, he's played this entire season, did not miss a single game due to injury. What stands out? Jameson Williams' stats. The dude is explosive. Each year, this 41-yard reception was his very first reception for a touchdown against the Minnesota Vikings. Last year, 63 yards. This was the Dallas Cowboy game. That's when he got that big play. We all know week 17. And then we know what happened here with the 82-yard reception against the Chicago Bears later in the season. So the dude is a burner. He's a big play machine. He is a big play machine. This is his out. Well, you can't, he had one catch, one touchdown. So we got to take this one out. This is an anomaly. But this year, almost 15 yards in year 2, 17 in year 3. Who's to say this can't be 20 yards? The dude could get 1,500 next year. He has proven himself to be a solid number 2. The issue with Jameson Williams is he's got to stay on the field. Those other situations that after the suspension about the PES, we had to deal with that other thing, and it's a lot. And then he got fined several times this year. He's got penalty flags. He got fined for his celebration. Oh, man. I'm laughing at it because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a fine. That's a fine. If they're going to fine Amon-Ra St. Brown for some hip thrusts, they're going to fine J-Mo for, if you don't know, then you need to go find out. But I knew he was going to be fined when I saw the celebration. So what are the Detroit Lions on the hook for if they do indeed pick up his 5th-year option? This is coming from Over the Cap, and this is all of the players that were drafted in the first round, their 5th-year option. You can see right now it looks like Ahmad Gardner, Kyle Hamilton, Linderbaum with the Ravens are the only 3 first-round picks that made more than one Pro Bowl. So they're going to get the max. You got $20 million, $19 million. Aiden Hutchinson would have gone to the Pro Bowl, his second. They would have been paying him $27 million. And this is why Aiden Hutchinson may get extended. Now, you're going to go down and you're going to see Jameson Williams right here. Jameson Williams, this is he did not reach the playtime incentive, or he didn't make a Pro Bowl. Because he was in 2024. Matter of fact, if you've been suspended, you're not even eligible for the Pro Bowl. So he was suspended both of his seasons outside of the original season. So the Pro Bowls were done. And as you can see, J-Mo didn't even hit the playtime. I want to say that this is updated because hopefully it is. There might be a situation where he hit the playtime, but the difference is only $1 million. This says 16.6. Jameson Williams is in line. Him, Chris Olave in line to get the same thing. $15 million. That's more than he's made his entire career thus far. I've got his career earnings pulled up, and let's take a look. In 2020, the year he was drafted, he got a signing bonus and a base salary. So that's 3.1. Signing bonus, salary, another 3.1. So right now we're at 6.2. So right now we're at 9.3. And right here, we're at 9.3, another $4 million, $13 million. You add this up, it's almost equal to. It's a little less. Somebody can do the math and tell me where it lands. So I just did this, off the top of the head, just assuming that it was. And it looks like I'm very close to being right. But he's going to make $15 million in his 5th year. Now, of course, we still got the 4th year that we have to go into. So this is a year down the line. But the Detroit Lions have to make a decision this year whether they want to commit to next year. If you go back to the 2020 NFL draft, there were only a handful of guys that got the 5th-year option. Joe Burrow, he got the 5th-year option. Then you had Chase Young, he did not. Jeff Okudah, he did not. Multiple other players did not get their 5th-year options picked up in 2020 from that 2020 draft. It was a lot. It was like a record low. It was something absolutely insane. I want to say maybe 11 players out of the 32 that were selected or whatever it was. So only a third of those players got their 5th-year options picked up. And now those players are now free agents if they didn't get extended or anything like that. We know Joe Burrow got a massive deal. So right now we're at the point where the Detroit Lions are going to have to make a decision. I personally believe that They are going to pick up the 5th-year option. I do not think Jameson Williams is going to be extended. And like I said in a different video, if I'm J-Mo, I wait. Say, okay, let me play this whole year out. No suspensions. Try not to get fined. Let me up my value. Right now, I think Jameson will get a lower contract than if he balls out. Then you have a situation where he could get hurt again. Now he hurts his money that way. I saw something, I think it was on Twitter, about a projected contract for Jameson Williams. It was 3 years, $23 million. I would assume his 5th-year option is that it reworked that, and you're talking about, I don't know, that's low. If you want to be one of the best wide receivers in the game, the best wide receiver in the game, that's low. So use year 4. Don't get suspended. Don't get fined. Don't get in any news other than good news. Ball out in 2025 and earn double, triple your money. Get a 1,500-yard season. Get 10 touchdowns, 10, 15 touchdowns. You do that, he'll double to triple his contract value. If I'm Jameson Williams, I wait. If I'm the Detroit Lions, I wait. He's got everything. He is everything. Like, he's got so much. He's got so much. It's just the other stuff. And it does matter. It does matter. So what I think is going to happen, the Detroit Lions are going to pick up his 5th-year option. They will not extend him until next year if he's earned it, but they will definitely pick up. To me, it would be dumb not to pick up his 5th-year option. So that way, if he has a huge year 4, you got him on the contract. And then maybe this time next year, we're talking about an extension. Let him go. If I'm the Lions, I wait. If I'm J-Mo, I wait. If I'm the Lions, I wait. Have a ball out year 4 and earn that big money. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And eventually we'll talk about Hutch as well, because we're going to have to talk about what I assume to be a monster extension coming for Aiden Hutchinson. I expect him to be the highest paid defensive end in the National Football League. There was no doubt he was going to be that way anyway until he got, I mean, this dude was on a path of destruction. Like, I just can't even imagine what it would have been if he would have been playing Defensive Player of the Year, sack leader. It would have been insane. Massive deal coming. Maybe if I'm Hutch, I'll wait too. And go out and get that real money. He gonna get paid. If they offer me 35, I'll take that. But if they're offering me like 20, I'll be like, let me show out this year and up my value. Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. Thank you for 29,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.